before we begin, I found a couple more old ass files that I want to review with you guys. I found this one, this gem right here, that my computer will eventually open when it decides to. This should probably be from the early digital era when I began trying to started trying to color shit on Photoshop and stuff. You know what I would love to, and it's fucking impossible to actually find the shit I would draw on Paint when I was really young, because I would spend all day drawing Pokemon on Paint, and because it's impossible to draw with the mouse on Paint, especially if you're like a fucking 5 to 10-year-old. So I would just use the fucking circle tool to draw circle Pokemon. So I would be drawing Pokemon all day, but I would just draw like Voltorb and I don't know, that blue one, that blue rabbit, Meryl. I would just draw Pokemon that were round or that I could draw with the fucking round tool. Anyway, I digress. This is from when I started actually drawing on Photoshop, and it's supposed to be Monica, a character from Dark Cloud 2. I was a huge fan of this game. Actually, let's just look the date. Dark Cloud 2. Excuse me, Dark Chronicles my ass. I want to know when. Okay, sure. 2002. So yeah, around. Yeah, I was really young. It was really around this like early digital era. And I also found, and this is really cute. Okay, so again, this is supposed to be me and the friends I had at the time. And it goes back to this image right here, this one that I've reviewed already. Actually, I forgot to review this in the last stream, but if you watched the video I uploaded on my channel, I added this this one later. But yeah, this is me. So here, and the interesting thing is that I really did decide. I coded all my friends with colors. That's really cool. So apparently I was blue. Probably because I'm a water bitch. I always liked water and ice as an element. Playing early Pokemons, I would be like, only have water Pokemons in my team and shit like that. And like Shiva was my queen. I would play Final Fantasies just to keep summoning Shiva every opportunity I had and using Blizzard. I don't know why. I fucking love ice as an element and water. I just think it's so cool. Anyway, I digress. So, in the video I mentioned that all of these people, like, except these two right here, just vanished. I don't even know if they're alive or not, but, this girl right here, it's the same as this one, I bet you can tell. She's still a very good friend, although we don't see each other that often. And this guy right here, which is this one. And yeah, we're buds, and you might have seen him in this channel. Actually, we've done a couple videos together, and this was the boy I had a crush on. And the best thing is, I drew him like super muscly, but he was just a normal teen boy, like scrawny kid. But I just projected this, like he was my muse, so of course I had to like project shitload of unrealistic expectations on him. But yeah, these outfits here, they actually look pretty dope. I want to like redraw these because these are pretty cool. Yeah, you can tell I was really influenced by all the RPGs I used to play, and I really wanted to draw my characters with these, like, Final Fantasy clothes and stuff. Like, totally. Okay, But okay, let's go to 2008. Project Eden Alpha. Ew. I guess. Really, really, like Omega, I don't know. 2008. Here we go. Get comfy, because, ooh. So remember when I was reviewing this stage right here, I talked a lot about going to DeviantArt and participating in Deviant OC clubs and creating Duoc Spell, which was like my first the first OC that I created that got real recognition, that got fan art and had like people who really were like, holy fuck, Doxbell is so dope. I want more of him. He's so cool. I want my OC to interact with him, and so many artists that were peers to me, wanted to interact with Doxbell. So he is always gonna have such a good place in my heart, even though he's a total bitch. So we're gonna see a lot of that because it goes on to 2008. So here's the thing: during 2008, the club where Doxbell was part of, they had a challenge. They had like an event more so. And it was a tournament where all the nobodies from the club, we had to like first make a comic about like the entry for your OC to enter the tournament. You had to make a comic or illustration or write a story about how your character encounters this heart pendant, which is a replica, a fake replica, energized with with powers similar, or at least trying to be similar to a heart. There was this whole promise that probably at the end the winner would be able to reclaim a heart for his own and all that shit. But then once the fighters were like chosen, we would get like the brackets right for the tournament, and then each artist would have to draw a comic or an illustration or write a story about how their OC beat the other artist's OC, and whatever product right won, whoever's creation won, got to continue the tournament. And the Doxbell was winning everything so far, but the worst plot twist is that I guess the club's leaders started having some inner troubles, and it eventually just faded. And I don't think the tournament ever really continued. And there's that on that. But let's read this really quick, because I want us to show you how much effort, like, this is, I know, I mean, I say how much effort, but it's really crappy. I mean, it's relative, A lot of people are gonna look at this and be like, wow, but how artists are like. You're always gonna talk shit on your own stuff, at your own stuff. But yeah, here Doxbell finds, he gets lost in in the woods, and his shadow somehow grabs him and pulls him into this realm where he finally finds his pendant. A bunch of Heartless show up. He fights. Of course, almost barely makes it. Then there's a dramatic scene where he sends his shadow to rest, and dramatic ending, because Doxbell had this whole thing about his shadow being like actually being able to simulate caring and human emotions more than Doxbell could, because Doxbell was a nobody, and he's like a total indifferent bitch, but his shadow had like emulated some sort of preoccupation or some sort of worry for his own well-being. It's weird. But anyway, there's that on that. That was that comic. Here is Galkson. Another nobody for another team that I created, another OC Club group. Inspired on this crush, the crush I had during school, my first crush, LOL. Um, this is a mission where you had to draw your nobody in Atlantica, therefore becoming some sort of sea animal hybrid. And I actually really enjoy this one. I had a lot of fun drawing the tentacles, no pun intended. Plus, I really studied it out. He's like this. He's supposed to be this mimic octopus that can like pretend to be other things. It's really crazy. You should look it up. Mimic octopus. And because Zoxbill is really like a deceiving, stealthy, like smart nobody, I thought it would be cool to use the mimic octopus because he's really tricky like that. This is the Oxbell on a date with fucking Luxord. There's that. Of course, I wanted them to bone, and of course they did. Okay, it's canon. Luxord boned the fuck out of Doxbell. It's a fact. This is all the Kingdom Hearts related characters I had. Galkson, Doxbell. I had this bench, which who is this bench? It's fucking Karen as a nobody. I can't remember her name though, but it's probably Karen rearranged with an X. I wouldn't be surprised. Shadowog, which is my summoner nobody. Chris, right here, because I do make him a Keyblader. And the Mad Hatter, which is a breed of Heartless that I created. Look how obsessed with Kingdom Hearts this bitch is. Okay, here comes the first fight of the fucking tournament. So here's supposed to be like one of the group's leaders. So of course they weren't fighting, but they were sort of like announcers. And I am paired up to fight this girl, which was actually like a friend of mine. So like we were like, holy fuck, we gotta fight each other. So there is this, and her power is like mind subconscious, right? So she can like kind of like influence you in your decisions. So how I worked it out was they are ready to fight, and of course they try to like trade a couple attacks, and soon she was on top of him, and she starts working her magic, trying to like convince Doxbell to just give it up. And he doesn't respond, which makes her mad. And then, ta-da! She's cut from behind, because all this time she thought she was fighting Doxbell, but she was fighting the Shadow. Oh my god, so clever. And yeah, and then he breaks her necklace. I won, and I got to the next round. Moving on. This is just, oh, apparently it's maybe a Kiribon or a request for this Clover-kun. Probably enjoyed Vincent from Final Fantasy VII, and this is actually inspired on his Dirge of Cerberus version, which has like this fucking sort of like wing shape in his hair. And of course Sid having like a nosebleed here because I totally shit them. Tolibera, Zarank, probably. I wouldn't be surprised if her name were like something like that. Here's Galkson. Oh yeah, the mission was one of the lesser nobodies had like malfunctioned and was messing up with the base, and we had to fight him. And so Gauxin was inspired in fight, obviously in like Ryu and fighting game main characters. So he had like Hadouken powers. That was his thing. Here's me being a little RPG bitch, developing a sort of like elf elf race that has feathers growing on the base of their ears. I don't know why when I created this I thought it was really cool, but now looking at it just looks kind of gross. But I thought this was really dope when I created it, and I was just like, ugh, clip it off. There's something wrong with your ear. I hate it. And yeah, they were your typical reinvention of the high elf, very educated and produces jewelry and all that BS. More OCs. This is another OC group that I joined that I think it was like supposed to be this school where creatures, all sorts of creatures, aliens and whatever, they went to that school. So I actually had two characters in that group. One was a student, which is I had three OCs in that group. One is Theodore. Okay, he's an homunculi. The thing is, and that's totally inspired in Breath of Fire 5, Nina. But anyway, let me explain. He was created with these two wings, and he had this ability of the wing. This wing was able to, like, how can I say? This wing was able to drain all sorts of like sickness and maliciousness from anything. He was just sort of like all-purpose purifier. So he would drain this toxicness with one wing and then release with the other, and he was supposed to be like an experiment that if it became successful, they would be produced in mass, so they could help like keep the environment clean because it was getting oversaturated with like garbage, and and also heal people that were getting sick. But even though they are capable of like releasing all these malice that they are able to drain, it affects them while it's in them, and even after they release it, some damage remains. So they're like a filter. So the longer you use the same filter, eventually you can't. So that's his damage, his cross to bear. And he was actually developed by this guy who was one of the teachers, Professor Balberith, an alchemy teacher. And he had this little fairy that was always trapped inside a bottle on his belt chain or whatever. Look, how dope is this? He has a chain that holds bottles and files for him, but it holds it inside a magical ring, so it never drops. Like, that's some OP shit. He had this fucking hand accessory. I don't know what the fuck this does. And this is this before Madoka? Because I don't think Madoka was out when I drew this. But yeah, what a dope OC. And he's hot, like, and his fairy is hot too. Damn, Professor, I've been a bad boy. I mean, look at him. Yeah. Yes, God. And this was the third one. E-Curl Astro. Look at him. My little kitty boy. He's so precious. He's based on Final Fantasy Curls, which is this fucking alien tiger thing that has telepathic powers. So yeah, he was like the sort of like spunky, sporty, happy-go-lucky, half-jock brat, while Theodore was the pure cinnamon roll, and Balberith was like the big bad. Um, this is from when I tried to open my own OC club on DeviantArt that kind of flopped, but I put a lot of heart into it. That would be like this sort of RPG universe where anyone could create their own character, evolve them, train them, gain levels, get classes, like evolve to classes and purchase equipment and new cool stuff with the points that they would get by completing missions. It was such a cool idea, but oh my god, managing by myself, it was just too much and it flopped. But we're gonna see a lot of things that I've created for that. This is the Oxbell in the Steamboat world from Kingdom Hearts, all drawn with like old ass aesthetics. Super cute. Look at this. How cool is this? This was like one of the images, the like the template images for creatures from the catalog of the OC group that I was developing. So this was like a hunt, a really hard, high level enemy that a lot of people had to go together. A lot of artists had to like work together to defeat, because he was super OP. He was supposed to be this sort of like a breed of gargoyle and ostrich of sorts, or like a flamingo. And he is like crazy for jewelry and pretty shit. And all he does is not even like he's not even like dangerous, as he's not even gonna attack you or kill you. He's just gonna put you in a daze, so you start tripping the fuck out and steal all your shit. This is the starter set. When people joined that OC group, they would like pick one of these four weapons to start out as apprentice, or like, apprentice job class. So yeah, how cute is this? This is really precious. And you notice I was like super being like the super like trying to be super natural and like environmentalist. So I was using a lot of recycled paper. That's why a lot of my art has this texture during this time. I was like only limiting myself to draw on recycled paper, because I was like, gotta take care of the world, gotta take care of the environment, gotta save the world, gotta do my part, and like all that bullshit that they tell us, which is like, it's, of course, everyone has to do their part, but until big companies act like they do, it's not like peeing in the shower or doing your home recycling that's gonna really save the world. It's like, we're just, even if all of humanity did these things, we would be like saving like 10% of the world damage, because it's all really done by fucking companies. And they try to tell like it's our fault because we take long baths. Like, bitch, please. Excuse me. I digress. Where was I? Yeah, there's that. This is like the basic uniform for the classes, the apprentice class, of course. If you had a boy OC or girl OC, you could mismatch or like match around the outfit as how you want it. This was another OC I made for a group, another OC group called Pendeogens, something like that. It was like overviewed by this artist called the Jubilations, which I believe it's still quite popular. And yeah, every OC had to be like this sort of like animal elf thing. So yeah, Chaos was a um, half Tanuki, I guess. And look, he has purple hair. How the world goes round. Here I am reviewing this with purple hair. Fucking 10 years later. This is really crazy now that I think about it. Because he's obviously like a sort of self-insert in the universe. Um, me with a fucking old ass MP3 player. Um, and yeah, I just started dyeing my hair a couple years ago, and it's just so funny to see this now. More of him. Bell in Space Paranoids, Bell in fucking Pirates of the Caribbean, Theodore in the school's ballroom night, alone in the balcony, um, wearing his weird ass mask. Professor Balberith also like in the fucking ballroom, wearing his ballroom mask. This is Icorel like participating in the games, early games. Back to the RPG thing, my rendition of the Dark Elves, I guess. They're more supposed to be more tribal-ish, more like we live from what nature offers and stuff. These are actually some pretty dope designs now that I'm looking at them. The sword is pretty dope, made from a really like pointy leaf or time to bring some of these back. The Harpy race from the same universe that I was developing for that group, they would be like kind of like this. They would have like the lower legs, being as harpies usually are, with little attached wings here and there in the joints and the shoulders. I was trying to be like fucking super original and giving them wings everywhere except their backs. And not in their hands. It's not gonna be their arms. It's like so fucking new. So they had all these wings, and once they reached a certain age or whatever the fuck, they would like make themselves a mask, a bird mask. Little creatures for that universe. Totally going Pokemon here. The sort of like my Caterpie. My Metapod, cute little monster with too many years. This one I actually reused because I loved it. It's a little cherry spider, leafy lady. I changed the name, but yeah, it's a spider that super trips you off and makes you think it's a fucking berry, and you go to pick it up and it fucking stings you. Because nature be like that sometimes. But like, look at him, he's cute. Mew ripoff. Totally. He totally looks like Mew. But I mean, how many times can you draw a little pink rodent without like Mew stole that? He made it a patent. He patented it. Words. Ooh, okay, here we go. Here's the second round of the tournament. This one gets real dramatic. Real dramatic. This time I was fighting an OC and an artist that I didn't interact as much or at all in the group, and this is actually implemented in the narrative. So Duoxbel is kind of glad that this time he's not gonna fight a friend. He's gonna fight um, a character that was really truly irredeemable and like just douchey. So Duoxbel was more than glad to stab the motherfucker. And his power, what was it? I think he had to do with ice and rain. Holy fuck. Why did I do that? Sorry. And his weapon was a pocket watch. Don't ask. It's his character. But yeah, the battle begins. Dogsbell divides in two. Fuck! Stop doing that. I hate the fucking image viewer from Windows 10. It's the fucking worst. Okay, Dogsbell divides in two. They begin fighting. Very dramatic. I really liked the effect that working with recycled paper did, because I just had to scan and apply some sort of like color with a layer effect, and it would use the texture to make all these blurs and shines, and it created an aesthetic. It was like my thing for a while, and I loved it. I still think it's quite dope. So yeah, they try to enclose on him. Oh yeah, he has this thing where he can like deduce the enemy's move. So when Dogsbell thinks he has an advantage, he counterattacks, and Dogsbell is like, "How the fuck did you do that?" And when he notices his shadow is fucking trapped, and then he kills his shadow. It's super dramatic. Has some flashbacks. He watches it die. It screams silently. But then, from behind, Dogsbell throws his half of the scissor blade, and it hits him right at its center. And it was gonna have like this super dramatic follow up, where Dogsbell would have to like keep fighting without summoning his double during the whole future match. But that's where things started to derail, and the next match never happened. Ah, psych! That's that on that. This is Chidori, my favorite character from Persona 3. Bless her heart. Love her. Okay. Remember, I said we're here for the good and the bad. So here comes some Theki. This is the boy I had a crush on that was actually making out with my best friend on my back. And he had this thing, this quirk, where whenever we were shopping or doing anything, he would smell, even bagged shit, he would smell everything. And I thought it was super cute. And I tried to draw out all these moments that we had. We're filling up D&D character sheets together, and fucking kill me. Sea elves, because I had a trinity. I still kind of do in my, whenever I'm gonna be like a tabletop GM, I always use this trinity. We have the high elves, the sea elves, and the wood elves. Like, it's just cool to work with this trinity. I know it's kind of old and overused and overdone. Like, they're cool. Leave me alone. This is another Nobody's OC from another artist. The same one where, if you've watched in my previous video, the previous review, I drew Dogsbell offering a sea salt ice cream to him. I really had a crush on this character. And now looking back at it, as cute as this is, there's some serious anatomy issues that really bother me. Like how this shoulder, the placement, whatever. But it's cute. It's cute. I drew so many girls fake gay. I guess, I mean, Fake gay my ass. True gay. Girls are like queens. Stop. This was back when I met you, I think. Yep. This is like 2008. I just reviewed the Dwarfsville drawing that I did when we all had one of our biggest, more involved interactions. This one, let me show you. Since you're here, Sabrina, commenting and everything. This one. Remember this one, Sabrina? Sabrina actually saw that happening. She saw me working on this in person. I want to play checkers. I mean, right? Me too. Checkmate. Do I get to grab the king? The king's piece? This was the first one I saw you drawing. I know. That's why it's even more special because of that. Okay. This is another OC, this time for like this dystopian OC group where all OCs were kind of like against each other, and he was like this fucking gossip master. And I drew him spitting on Sasuke, beating him up because I knew everyone would say that he looks like Sasuke because his hair. And like, fuck off. No anime character has a patent in any hair except fucking Yu-Gi-Oh characters. And like, nowadays we have Noctis. Noctis has this hair basically, so I already preemptively was ready for people to be like, oh my god, it looks like Sasuke. Anyway, it's just him. But then I don't think I've ever used him. It's just me shipping the Oxbell and Galxon together. Which is like funny because Dwarfsville kind of like hated his guts. They were not friends at all. So even they were like kind of, dude, please. It's really funny when your characters become their own person and then they get to pass judgment on you. The anime influence was still heavy back then, I guess. Is that anime? Do Oxbell as a fucking girl. And of course, Galxon is having a nosebleed here behind because, of, again, he's based off the boy I had a crush on. And spoiler alert, he was straight. Chaos and Jubilation's character, I believe he's called Daisy. He's adorable. Fuck me. This is for the RPG group that I was developing. So the people who were beginning, who were like the apprentice jobs. One of the first classes was to draw your apprentice fighting one of the guild's dummies. So if you picked the sword, you had to fight the goblin. If you picked the bow, you had to fight the bat that flied around with this. Look how adorable these are. Like, this deserves a game. Like, why isn't this in like Breath of the Wild? If you picked the shield, you have to draw your character like parrying the attacks from this mechanical arm. And if your character had picked this magical staff, he would have to light these candles magically through these floating lanterns from a distance. Like, how cool is that? Bish. Rule 63. Oh, boob. Yeah. This was the poster. It was called Eternia Arena. And these were the races available, like humans, the high elves, dark elves, sea elves, harpies, and nagas. And everyone dressed with the apprentice outfit. Here's a variation color thingy. Okay. Look at this. This is the saddest shit I've ever drawn. It's me, like, it's about how, like, I often draw me or myself inserts with a partner, so I get to have this fulfillment even in a symbolical level. And yeah, had nothing but heartache and heartbreak and suffering all my life, and still miserably single and have like zero hopes of ever finding someone. So there's that on that. And it's even like topped off by the fact that I have to draw fucking dicks for a living. But I mean, I guess that's the cross I chose for myself, and I will have to carry it. But I digress. I told you guys we're here for everything, so there's that. This is hand practice. This is chaos and a couple of C's from that club hanging out. A harpy. This was the Oxpel and Goxco. This is actually really sweet. I became friends with this guy. His alias on DeviantArt was Green Bushido, and he's nobody. He was in the same OC group as the Oxpel, and his character was Goxco, and we became friends. He started commenting on my stuff, and I went to his gallery, had some pretty cool stuff, and we began hanging out, and it developed. But we'll get at that when we get to that. This is more of like me trying to live vicariously through my drawings, I guess. OC, nobody OC. Oh my god, this was the year of nobody's OCs. Okay, so here is one of the first sketches I did of Koimaru and Pain, which are the main characters from a comic that I worked on the time called Frozen Fire. They're both ninjas from the Ragnarok Online universe, and the background behind it is that I used to play as this boy Koimaru, and the same guy who had Goxco as an OC, the Green Bushido dude. His character was this Pain guy. He was like a sensei type, and Koimaru was the student type, and that was their dynamic, I guess. Had a lot of like dom and sub play going on, I guess. And if you've known me since then, you might have even have like read the comic. It's I think it's almost 100 pages long, the whole thing. It was a long friendship, and it's still going, I guess. He's totally gonna watch this video. This is, I don't know, what is this? You should put Froth on Patreon, isn't it? I gotta check that. More OCs. Okay, so now God, what an obsession. I have a problem. Some video game company. That's why gacha. I'm making a gacha game. You understand now why I'm making a gacha game? I have an OC problem. I could do this all day. Just design characters. I should do like fucking adoptables or something. But yeah, in this OC group, your character had to come with like an egg that would hatch a cute animal. And there's that. So Reese had a penguin because one, I fucking love ice, and two, I probably watched La Marche de l'Empereur, the Emperor's March, the March of the Emperor. Anyway, it's a documentary about penguins, and that really struck me hard. It has an amazing soundtrack by Emily Simon, which is a singer that I was really into at the time. There's that on that. This was the lesser nobodies that Duoxbel had control over, the Envious Rose. Oh, these were the outfits for the jobs from the group, that group, the RPG group I was developing. So the base jobs, these would all branch out and become cooler classes later on. So, but the base ones were fighter, healer. It's so Ragnarok Online, this one. It's super inspired in Ragnarok Online. Sweeper. Probably because Teeth and Mercenary was the two branches. But look how reminiscent of Dagger's outfit, in a way, I guess, this is. Mountain. It was supposed to be like a swordsman that rode mounts. Ranger, which I think it's better translated as scout, because they were more of like survivalists. Because they ranger implies that they had range, which they really didn't. French sense activate. Did I say that correctly, Mok? Hatchimals. Hatchimals? Yeah, Hatchimals. Oh my god, did I just predicted Hatchimals? 10 years back? Holy fuck. Ranger looks like a soccer player, I guess. Anyway. Evoker. This is really cool, but also very reminiscent of Ragnarok Online. Very reminiscent. Look at this. This is just me being fucking high and dumb. Just fucking. Hey, Playboy. No time. Long time no see. Back at ya, sexy dragon. So, bro, back at the dojo. Pff, dojo is old school. Let's do it right here. And like Chun-Li was eating ramen right at the stand next to it. And she gets so pissed because she's like fed up with Ryu and Ken just fucking flirting with each other all the time and in everyone's face, and it being so obvious about it that it fills her special gauge to the maximum, and she fucking does the special attack to separate them because she's so fucking like that jealous bitch. What why did I draw this? This is me and Paula, some sort of like friend romance piece I drew for her. Sensei, Pain, and Koimaru. This is the. I don't even know why I drew this. It's not like I even like the character. This is the main character from Radiata Stories. I can't even remember his name. This little kid, he looks like fucking Shoran. I miss this style. The style of this game was so adorable. Why don't they do this anymore? Radiata Stories was so cute. The graphics were actually so good for a PS2 game. This game was adorable, and it's so like nobody remembers it. It's kind of offended. I'm kind of offended. It had like, look at the characters. They're so iconic and recognizable and memorable. Unlike, oh look. Hey! Wait a second! This looks familiar. What the fuck? It's fucking Dagger's eye! What the hell? Does this... It affected me subconsciously. This is literally Dagger's, like, the three fucking lower eyelashes and the beauty mark. What the fuck? But yeah, I was really in love with the look of this game. God, now I'm actually getting mad that they just let it die and never brought it back. And never did anything like this again. Why? Look how good this game looks. This is a PS2 game. It looks better than most like RPGs you can get on Steam nowadays. And the battle system was like action based. It was so cool. Maybe I should add this to play this on my channel later. We're here to review art. go back. Look at this boy, precious boy. This is Galxen on Atlantica. It becomes a seahorse, I guess. This was back. Oh my god, look at this. This was back when all we had was fucking trailers, and fucking what's her name? Luna. Yeah, before, cause now her name is, what's her name now? I forgot. What is this? 100 11111. What just happened? Oh, I just noticed you can get cheers. Is that what just happened? I got cheers? Why didn't the thing do the thingy? Oh, I don't have a fucking... I'm so sorry, I don't have the alert box plugged. I'm mad. I'm gonna fix this right now. I would have got a sound alert for that. Bitch, thank you so much. I love you. Thank you for the bits. Aww. Bish, thank you so much. Oh. And I'm sorry that I was dumb and I didn't plug my fucking alert box. I'm just gonna click the button and we're gonna pretend it's you. Thank you, Wolf Dragon! Thank you! Oh, yes. Thank you for the bits. Anyway, this was when Freya was Luna Freya. I forgot her name. What's her name now? Stella. Yeah, this was when Luna was Stella. Yeah. God. And we didn't even had all the characters revealed for the games. Oh my god. It was really old. This is how long this game was in development. Aw, this is Goxco, Green Bushido's OC. GB. Let's just say GB, okay? It's gonna save us some time. GB's as OC as a trainer and Doxbell as a cider, his cider. Cider! Cider! Oh my god. Favorite Gen 1 Pokemon, not counting Eevee, because Eevee is always gonna be my favorite everything and his evolutions, except like fucking Flareon and Jolteon. Like, woo! Thank you! Oh my god, all those beds. All those beds. Thank you. Why didn't it say, oh yeah? It should say, oh yeah, instead of, but okay. I'll still take it. Thank you for the bits. This was when I tried making a Persona OC club. This was just the poster announcing the project. Guess what? Never happened. Oh my god, this was all the OCs I had at the time in a fucking Christmas card. Calcoon was my fucking alias name at the time, and here's the backstory, which is also really crazy, and I will expand upon it later. But basically, there was this character in Evangelion called Kaworu. And when I started like dating this guy on the internet, it was a distance thing. He lived in Bahia, which is another state in Brazil. He started affectionately calling me Calcoon, as short of Kaworu, which was actually a pretty adorable nickname. With time, it became its own thing. But it sticked for a long time after we like stopped talking, after he ghosted on me. Ghosted is an understatement. I pretty much flied over to be with him and he left me by myself. But sometime later I was just like, you know what, I'm done. I don't identify with this, and plus it's so weeaboo-ish. I just want a new name. But before I thought I could think about it, I just replaced it with PPMAQ, which is my initials. And here we are, boys and girls. 10 years later. Um, so yeah, Leopold, which is the lying bitch. Reese, which is the father of the little hatch animals thing, which is called Shiva. Here she is, back again. Um, Balberith, Theodore, and Ikoral, and Koimaru and Balberith, my nobodies. Duoxbel, Zadok. Oh, the Mad Hatter was called Vanguard. Gauksen is here, Chris is here. Apparently, she was called Seox. Seox? Whatever that means. Maybe it's short for something. The Chris, the fucking... This is when I tried to do that project. If you watched previous reviews, you've seen that I tried to create like this story where every character was anthropomorphic animals. I think that's redundant, but okay. And the main characters was Anubis and a goat/sheep version of Chris that had many names. It was Cloud at one point, and then Cell. But anyway, and you get the idea. I tried to emulate like the sheep's Cloud, fluffy white. Chaos and Liliha, which is this archer OC I created also, and she pretty much has like one base illustration, and I never used her again. But I was so proud of it. I was like, this is an OC. And this is Dwoxbell with his lesser nobody, Vanille, because I always thought she was a Dorp. Dwoxbell being a little Mulan bitch. More Final Fantasy sauciness. I had this thing, man, where my guys' bodies, the torso, they were just so like slim sometimes. They look like fucking geckos. But yeah, there's this. Not much to say here. It's this. Okay, this is like the Naga for the RPG thing. Pretty dope if you ask me. The Naga race from my world, they had like 2 pairs of arms, which I believe they still do in the epic loads. There are Nagas, and I believe they still have multiple arms. Maybe I'll turn them to 6. Can you imagine a Naga with fucking 6 arms? That's fucking OP. But yeah, fucking dragon-ish, scale-ish eyebrows are the best. I would really invest in fucking like design. I really love it. I really love design. Look at this fucking lens. How badass is this fucking lens right here? This looks like it would hurt. Okay. Okay. Next, a Naga with 6 arms, ultimate hugger. Guys, this is how much I cared for my RPG projects. Look, I did little cute icons. I did like an icon pack that everyone could download to include in their own creation. So there was like 5 types of damage, right? Slash or cutting, piercing, hitting, touch, and crush. This touch damage is it's symbolic damage, because in my universe, not in my universe, it's not like I invented or I'm the only one who uses this, but I like to use symbolic damage as well. You know, when like usually on RPGs, when your mage tries to hit a monster and causes like fucking 2 points of damage, in my world there's like symbolic damage, which is you can like slap someone, but if that slap is imbued with magic, even though you're hitting them with something weak and you're hitting them lightly, you're like hitting them in their soul, in their essence, so it fucks them up. So if you a mage in my world, if he fucking whacks you with his like wand, you sure as hell, it might even cause like, it's not gonna do 2 damage. It's gonna fuck you up. Except, of course, if the enemy is like strong against symbolic damage. The initial weaponry, this is like for anyone who wanted to create specific armor parts. Statuses, right? Accuracy, physical resistance, wisdom, magical resistance, luck, strength, and agility. Some items, status ailments, range for skills. Oh my god. Even made a little tutorial on how to apply the color to make it more unique in case you needed to. Oh my god, and I just noticed beneath every icon, I found a brush to kinda like symbolize the thingy. Poison has these little bubbles. Far has this little aim thingy. Aw. Cute. Oh my god, I love this one. Okay. Sit back, relax. Okay, I fucking love okay, so my mission here was like, I'm gonna create a creature for every element, right? And I fucking love all of them. They were all inspired on cliche monster archetypes, but I just like them so much. I love my, but they do look, especially the salamander and the little feet, little goblin thingy, the feet troll. They both look like too much like an Odin sphere creature, which is make me very suspicious. Let me see when Odin sphere came out. 2008, 2007, yeah, Odin sphere monsters. Huh. Not too much. No, but I'm quite sure they have a little power that makes ice grow in their bags. I'm sure I drew inspiration from that. I'm really sure. I know where my inspirations come from. And the salamander, I'm pretty sure there's a fiery salamander, but I always try to make it unique, of course. So here's like the nature, like was a seed. I need to bring some of these living vicious attacking seed. Floating rock, what the fuck. I think it would just like float on top of you and then turn the gravity off and just fall on your head. What a dumbass monster. I really like these two, this light feathery thing with the bell hanging from it. Why do I always like bells and light together as element in iconography? Is it church? Is it because of church? There's this fucking thing. I'm really proud of this one. So what? It has like this ring, which is like a guillotine, like a fucking pendulum, and it just spins around like crazy. So that's what it does. It's pretty much like a rotating blade, a living rotating blade. That would be really badass in a game, like a Castlevania something. Have this salamander, this rock salamander that oozed lava all the time. I guess this could be like my own Sandslash-ish creature. And my gelatinous cube. He's sad because he's an alchemic failure. And he's got discarded. And they're sad because they're garbage. Look, this is I even had like a little fucking NPCs to sell you the items in the fucking group. Oh my god. The drink store. Small potion, big potion, death potion. Japanese. It was actually a reference for a Frozen Fire, actually, the fucking Oriental bottle milk. Okay. This one. Um, this is when I was working in a fucking bank. No, no, not bank. It's because we call it banca, but a fucking comic store. Let's say bookstore, comic store, magazine store, a place that sells all of these things. Um, potting tank. Um, there was this couple that sat kind of across my working desk, and there wasn't any clients around, and I was bored and I was doodling, and this couple, and it's gross because they're straight. Ew. Ugh, barf. I know. But like they were so in love, and I was so jealous, and I drew it out because I was really like crazy about their love. I was just like, God, how wholesome and sweet and pure, and I want that. Just stupid OCs I created, like a kid that plays coy but fucking murder, a cat from hell, a fairy that dresses like a hooker and has a giant head with wings on the head instead of her back. This evil lord princess. This is supposed to be a woman that wants to be a knight, and she's grossed out because swords are penises. This is supposed to be a hermaphrodite fairy elf. What the fuck was I on when I created these characters? I just wanted to make a group of RPG characters that was really like out of it. And that's the last one for this year's review! Oh my god. Things are gonna start getting sexy because I'm gonna start doing like the fucking NSFW works, not safe for work. And yeah, that thing's coming out.